Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Jandara. I'm Garrowen, and I thought I'd give you a bit of an update. I've been a bit slack lately. Haven't got the updates done since the working bee, and look what we've got set up. Or starting to set up anyway. This isn't post-working bee. It's not stuff that was done during the working bee. This is stuff Gavin's been working on the last couple of days, just setting up the aquaponics, moving the stuff out the back, out to the front, and all that sort of thing. But this stuff out the front here, this is stuff that was done during the working bee. There were a good, I think there was a good 10 men on whippersnippers for hours. So they've got all the fencing down from here. We've got a spoon drain in here now, which is draining away a lot of the water. That area got all nice and cleaned up, and we got to christen our barbecues. We got this area cleaned up a lot. It doesn't look that great at the moment. Mum's frangipani trees are doing well. But yeah, filled up a 6 cubic metre mini skip. I've made a bit of a mess already because I'm trying to do some plant stuff. Got some mango seeds sprouting. Kids have got a nice play area here, which they keep turning into a disaster area. A huge amount was done inside the house with a lot of stuff being packed up and put into the shipping container. This is looking a bit overgrown now. But a lot of the grapevines beds were all whippersnippered and all that sort of stuff. There was a big water tank over there that got removed. Chickens are doing well over there. Unfortunately, this area didn't get cleaned up, but it's not tragic. But let's go around the back. The big things that got done was around this water tank was whippersnippered, and when they whippersnippered around it, they discovered that there was some massive holes. And this water tank, which has basically been full most of the time because it gets water from the shed, had water spurting out. So they've actually chucked some sticks in, siliconed it off. But there's nothing going into this tank anymore. But we think that might have been what was keeping the concrete wet, because since that was done, along with a heap of stuff over here as well. My moringa's flowering. How cool is that? Since that was done, so there's still a heap of work to do, but there was, we had 30 odd people here, all helping doing stuff, but there's a lot of work that needs doing. So what we have noticed is this concrete has dried out a lot quicker. So really excited about that. So all of the stuff along here has been moved. A lot of it's just been moved. Some of it's been moved into different spots in the shed. A huge amount was done out here. That area didn't get gotten to. Most of the windows got cleaned. A lot of the cobwebs got taken down. I've still got a lot of stuff that needs dealing with out here. It's just a big challenge. But another drain was put in over that side of the house too. So let's go have a look inside. Oh, and the bananas are doing really well. I think I showed you those the other day. It was a couple of weeks ago when I showed you the bananas. Oh, the pumpkin vine's got a lot of fruit on it, does it? I didn't think any of it looked like it's set. We've got a volunteer pumpkin over here. I don't know how many of those pumpkins have set, but there's certainly a few flowers. It's just whether or not they've set or not. It's going to be an interesting thing to see. There's a strawberry plant in there. I'll have to go try and dig that out. Should take that around the front. It says my celery plant has gone to seed in the aquaponics out here on the back. But we're moving this out the front. So water is being pumped out of there and taken out the front, because we have a few little fishies in here. Some of them aren't so little. Got a few quite big fish in here. Not that you can see them at the moment. I'll show you them later. Water's a bit murky. Yes, I was going to show you the bananas, wasn't I? Back in a second. Here's the bananas. It looks like I won't be getting any more actual bananas themselves forming on there because they've stopped forming now. That's okay. That's a reasonable bunch. Not complaining. I could actually probably take this flower off now because it won't produce any more bananas now that all those are there. As you can see, all the flowers dropping on the ground. But there's still a lot of suckers in there that I need to get in there. Someone wants to say hello. But yeah, still haven't gotten out here. Still not really all that steady on my feet, but I should come and show you inside the house. So you can't tell it much at the moment, but pretty much all of the cupboards were cleaned out. The floors were cleaned, so a lot of the cupboards have been cleaned out, ready for proper cleaning. So we just ran out of time. So cupboards are empty. Everything's been packed up and put into the container. A lot of in here's been sorted out. These rooms are still not doing great. They're still not drying out as much as I'd like. There's still a bit of wet concrete here. This is still a problem. That's still wet. But it's going to take time for it to dry out, I guess. The concrete in this room is still a bit damp over there. But a lot of stuff was cleaned up in here. That's not very exciting looking at the tiles, is it? I have noticed that that bit of concrete there is actually wet, so it's not drying out as quickly as I'd like either. But this room got all cleared out. We still need to clean the walls and the ceilings, which is a problem because I can't do the ceilings, and there's mould up there, which is because the concrete's wet and it's still a bit wet.
And here's another Jonathan.
So that's basically the update. A huge amount got done. The windows were all cleaned. The cobwebs are mostly gone. But there was just a lot of stuff that needed doing, and I knew it wasn't all going to get done. So I'm really grateful for what was done. But let's go have a closer look at the aquaponics. What we've got happening out here with the aquaponics is this is going to be the fish tank, how we normally have it set up. And it's got the slow in there. Yeah, the water looks pretty disgusting at the moment, but that's just, it's part of the process of moving it all, and we put a new bag of clay balls into the bed. So this has got a venturi system in it, so that's going to create extra airflow and aeration in there. This is the sump. Gavin's made some adjustments to the pump to make it so that the water level is not going to be as hard to keep track of. So yes, and we only have the one garden bed set up at the moment, but that's a start. It means I was able to get some of the plants that I got from the Shed Wars prize money into the actual aquaponics, as well as some leeks from previously and some leeks that I brought from the shops because they're so easy to strike and grow. Got a mushroom plant over there, one is a celery from my big celery plant out the back, got a turmeric, got some tulsi and some yellow beans. Hang on.
And she has some cucumbers.
Yes, these are some cucumber plants. Unfortunately, I bought them, a month and a half ago or something, before the first working bee was supposed to happen. And they kind of nearly died.
And there's beans.
Yes, the beans are on the other side. So they were some more of the plants that I got in preparation for the first working bee that ended up getting cancelled due to the rain. So
there's another leek.
Yes, there's another leek. So I'm not holding my breath that those cucumbers will actually survive.
A very small leek.
Yes. But they have a chance now. They're actually in the water, in the aquaponics, which isn't actually running yet, but it should be soon. So the plan is to set up at least 4 beds along here. Yes, Jonathan?
Mum, are there going to be fish in that tank?
Yes, the fish are going to be in this tank. So there won't be any fish in there, that's just the sump.
And I asked Dad if I could carry the fish, but Dad said no.
Why are you pulling a silly face? It needs to be done really quickly is the big problem.
Yes.
So yeah, so there will be, the plan is to have 4 garden beds here, and half the plan is setting it up here, which is not the best side for the aquaponics. Those are oyster shells that are in there, and they're really good at helping to keep the pH of the water right.
I thought you could hear the sea in those shells.
No, you can't.
But the bird.
They're not the right sort of shells. He's been very interested in hearing the sea from shells since we went to the beach a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I even made a shell collection.
He did. He has a shell collection.
I forgot
So
where
the reason we put the plants on this side is to create a bit of an extra barrier and protection for the aquaponic, for the container house, to make it a little bit cooler, hoping to create a green barrier. So we've got the shade cloth here as well. Ideally, it would be better to have it on the other side of the container house, but we'll be planning on setting one up on the other side as well. But this was going to be the simplest spot. But yes, so I do still have some other plants to go in, but I've still got to think through what I'm going to do with those. I've still got grapevines that need to go into the garden. Unfortunately, the cuttings that I did in a couple of videos ago, they were doing really, really well, but then one of our helpers accidentally put the pot into the full sun, and I didn't notice it and didn't get it out in time, and well, it looks like they've died. I'd say they didn't have enough shoots, and the sun was just too hot. I mean, they only put them over there, so they only got the morning sun, but it was just too hot. And we've had some very hot days here lately, up in the low 40s. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. If I remember, I'll put it down the bottom when I check on it. So yes, still got some strawberries growing there. I need to get these back into the aquaponics eventually, but at the moment they're doing well in the pots. Got my red sheep sorrel, lots of strawberries, and my asparagus is doing really well. The bay leaf tree over there, and ice cream bean tree. Yes, so that's basically it. I've got the hydrangea that desperately needs some water, but that's the update for today. So it's a few hours later, and I've got some pots repotted and got them all sorted out here.
Hello.
And I've got those pots all sorted and set up there, and we have now got fishies in the aquaponics at the front. There's only like, they're not huge, there's only about four or so big-ish ones. Big-ish by, I mean, about that big. Sorry, I should have videoed the mollas while Gavin was moving them. And hopefully they'll eat up all the mosquito larvae that are in here. So yeah, this is going well. We've just got it set up, and the grow bed's going well. And the plants that we showed you before, I chucked in a couple of extra gingers that I found. So there's
And here's some
a
rocks
ginger
in
there
here.
and a ginger there. Oh, and the boys have started filling up that one.
We
So-
have finished it.
So they've finished doing their half of that section. The rest is going to have clay balls, such so that they're nicer on the hands. I'm convinced that little leaf has grown since I put it in there. It's probably my imagination.
This one.
This little tomato I don't hold out much hope for. And I got a little brahmi in here that I'm hoping will recover, but we'll tell and see in time.
Brahmi?
Yep, that's a little brahmi. So these are the cucumbers, and we've got the tulsi basil over there. We've got beans, we've got some turmeric, got some ginger, some celery, and some mushroom plant, and another little ginger. These won't all stay in here. I just got these in here so that they were no longer in their pots, because this was going to be a better spot for them.
Hello.
So, remember,
Ripe and rotting or green and growing?
he said it, you're either green and growing or ripe and rotting. And we want to be green and growing. And now, we're growing again. Yay!
We're green and growing now.
We're green and growing again. This is very exciting. It's always fun to have the plants going. What was that?
And you're using one of my celery plants.
Yes, I'm using one of your celery plants. Which you got from my celery.
Which I earned it.
Yes, he did. He earned it. He swapped it for a peppermint. and I killed the no chocolate mint, which I killed. Well, I didn't kill it. I wasn't able to look after it.
I earned one. What did I give you?
I think that one died. Anyway, you have a great day, and we'll catch you in the comment section. Bless you.
Bye.